Anyway, on the other side you see again Cap Ferrat. On top of Cap Ferrat, perhaps you can see it, there's a villa lying just on top of it. And that's a villa which was built in order of Madame Rothschild. If you see the Rothschild, the wife of a very rich banker, she was also the daughter of a banker. And she has been traveling a lot during her life, and she's been making lots of collections of furniture and ceramics. And especially for all these collections, she wanted to build here this villa. It was designed by 15 architects, and it took about 20 years to build it because she never was satisfied with it. And in the end, when it was finished, she's been living there for a while, and now it's a museum. It's a beautiful museum also because all around it there's a beautiful garden. It has 7 different gardens in different styles. A Japanese garden, an English garden, a French garden, an Italian garden. During the summertime, most of the people, of course, they come because of the beaches and the famous cities. But also during winter time, there are many tourists because the mountains are not very far from here. So there are also several places where you can do winter sports. And then many international congresses are organized either here in Nice or in Cannes. So therefore, of course, lots of people come with airplane to the airport of Nice. And then, of course, also many famous events take place on the Côte d'Azur. Well, we already talked a little bit about the Formula 1 races in Monaco, or the film festival in Cannes, which has been concluded yesterday. And so the whole year through, there are many other events here. Nice is quite an old city. It was originally founded by the Greeks in the 4th century before Christ. That is, as the Greek came here, there was already a little village which was inhabited by the so-called Ligurians. It's their new village or new town which they built upon a small hill which is in the center of the city. I hope you will see it a little further on. They dedicated to the goddess of victory, Nicaea. And therefore the city is now called Nice. That comes from Nicaea. But there are also some beautiful yachts, as you will be seeing a little further on. Yachts, which I was telling you. Do you see that most of them have an English flag? That doesn't mean it belongs to English. It's just that they are registered in England, so they have to pay much less tax. Most of them belong to Russians or Italians. A little further on, we'll be reaching the famous promenade, which is dedicated to the English. But before coming there, you will be seeing on the right side a war monument, which was built originally right after the First World War. But then after the Second World War, they added a part to it because it's dedicated to all the victims of the 2 world wars. People used to meet, and if they wanted to make a walk along the sea, they could walk on the roof of these houses. It was built this way oppositely, so it was a promenade for the rich people, but only for the rich. Nowadays, most of these houses are holiday homes, cafe and restaurant. They broke from the facade, that's still original from the 20s. And they built up a new building behind it. There's another casino inside. It's built now, apart from luxury hotel rooms. Oh well, you can see some other hotels which mainly were built for the English, because, as I said, the English were the first and most important tourists here in Nice. West End, Westminster, Royal. And then, of course, we will be seeing also the Negresco Hotel. This is the most famous hotel of Nice. You will see it in front of you. It's closed at the moment because they're restoring the building. But it's a historical hotel. It was built at the beginning of the 19th century, 20th century, 1912. And it's also one of the most expensive hotels. And it's famous because of the porter who's standing at the entrance. Today he will not be there because the hotel is closed, but he's normally dressed up in typical style of the period of Napoleon. So once it gets open, perhaps you could book a night here just to see it. You have to calculate price from around about 500 euros for one night. Okay, now we're leaving the promenade of the English, and we're reaching part of the town which is also called the New Town, even though it exists since about 100 here to Nice during the winter months. There were many German Christian church on the right.
There it is. Onions. It's the Russian church. One outside of Russia.
This is a Russian church.
Okay, now you've seen this beautiful Russian church. The whole quarter where we're passing through now, this is the Russian quarter. There's many Russian people who live here. You look on the right side, you see the only Russian house which is left. There used to be more houses built in that style, but unfortunately most of them were broken down to be placed for other modern buildings. Okay, well, we're making just another small tour through the city of Nice, and then we'll be going to the old city, where I will be bringing you to the Corsariat, where this flea market takes place, where you will have some time for yourself. It's getting a little bit better with the weather. The mountains that lead behind the city of Nice, the Sea Alps, as I told you before. And if you look on the right side, you will see the railway station, which is also a historical monument because this was built